should probably record 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I was walking through the aisles here trying to find a back scratcher. I went to the electronics because the employees there were actually there. And I asked them, and they called up. They got a hold of Caleb, and Caleb said in novelty toys. So as I was walking here to the novelty toys area, that was real mean mugging me. He about broke his own neck trying to crane it around backwards to keep his eye on me to make sure he stared me down. I don't know the guy. Maybe he thinks I'm someone else. Maybe he don't like the way I look. Maybe he got a friend who watches them channels. Who knows? What I do know is that if I'd have been recording just a couple of minutes ago, when that guy was mean mugging me, I could have just pointed the camera at him so we could identify him. Instead, it's just the story I get to tell. No, not necessarily. There are a few of the stories I was trying to explain about the situation with Molly, where she actually came up to me pulling her crap while I was making the recording. So when there's a situation where people make me feel uncomfortable, I don't have any friends who care. I also have a better understanding of situations than most people give me credit for, which means if you guys are paranoid, you're probably just paranoid. If I'm paranoid, there's a problem. I've got the experience, the knowledge, and the know-how. So, yeah. You guys pretending like I don't know anything, grew up under a rock and in a bubble with manservants and maidservants. Well, those of you who didn't grow up in the system and have never been homeless have really grown up a very sheltered life. So those analogies of, and also metaphors of under a rock in a bubble with manservants and maidservants that you throw on people like me, that's a self-projection. You guys are projecting onto somebody else that you know their life and their experience is better than they do. You're pretending that you know more about their life than they do. And then you want to say, oh, well, you don't know nothing about my life. You haven't been a part of my life for 6 years. Well, no, you're right. But you were just judging me as if you had been a part of mine for the last 6 years. And that also is not the case. Like Brandon Jefferson. You don't know nothing about my life for the last 6 years. You're right, I don't. Why did me and Brandon Jefferson stop being friends? Well, that's because he didn't like what I had to say about cops and how they treat the homeless. He just wanted to make excuses instead of finding out from the victims. He just wanted to shame the victims. I get that he always wanted to be a cop, but his brother was a cop in Chapel, Nebraska, and a bad one at that. Nice. Ahsoka Tano. Ha ha. All right. And many of these situations that I've been in are not due to choices that I made, but you guys want to push that. That's what we push on males, isn't it? Is that if it happens to a male, it's his fault. He shouldn't have been there. He should have made better decisions. If someone comes up and attacks a man, even if he's in an alley, it's, oh, well, it's your fault for getting cornered in an alley. It's your fault for walking into an alley. It's your fault for going to a bar. You know it's dangerous to go to a bar and people get emotional and get violent at a bar. It's your fault that you got assaulted because you went to the bar. And that's what we get shoved on us. It's our fault, no matter what it is. Also, if something happens to a woman, that is also our fault. It's our fault because we didn't protect them. Where were these men in her life? Where were these men in her life? Well, let me tell you something about those men in her life that would have protected her. She's not interested in that. She wants to go out. She wants to have fun. Who doesn't? And the younger and prettier she is, well, the more opportunities she's going to have for it to be just going out and having fun. That's a cool looking car. Not finding any back scratchers though. A Lego Hot Wheels car. This is looks like one of the turbine cars. These are not back scratchers though. Anyway, a lot of people like to push it on us that men are the problem, always the problem. They're the only problem, and the world would just get rid of men. We'd get rid of all the problems. And maybe you should probably look back at history. Maybe before blaming men for all these dead folks, you should look at who the... Oh, that's cool. Maybe you should look at who has the highest body count in the United States. That would be specifically female serial killers in a very specific profession, and that would be the nursing profession. Serial killer nurses in America have killed more people than all other serial killers in America combined, both male and female. So, yeah, that's a pretty prolific number. I'd say that's quite significant enough for you to stop trying to sell this notion that only men can be predators and only women can be victims, that girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. You know, when somebody eyeballs me, I'm not somebody who's going to go making a big deal about it. Not normally. This isn't something that I'm calling the cops about, saying, oh no, this guy eyeballed me. Yeah, it freaked me out. That's why I'm recording. Same thing with that guy with the rocks there in Hood River. It creeped me out, so I started recording. Now, how did the situation end up with that? Well, it ended up with Hood River Police Department and Hood River Sheriff's Department breaking the law. And it also resulted in the Oregon State Troopers telling me it's not their job to police the police, when actually it is. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I also looked up the laws. I'm also being sent to 10,000 other places that the law doesn't say to go to. They're also not getting the people involved that legally they're supposed to have getting involved. Now, if there was somebody who cared, who was stepping in and speaking up, they would have done that from the start. But I'm a homeless person, so nobody did that. I'm a male, so nobody did that. And now things are 1,000 times tougher because nobody actually cared. That's how it is for us as homeless folks. Everyone cares until it's time to actually show it. Sure, they love you when you got something to give. They sure love you when you speak up for them. They love you when you stand between them and the person who's trying to stab them to death. When all you asking for them to speak up and tell the truth. They treat you like you're asking for their firstborn and all their grandkids. They treat you like you're trying to sow their genetic lineage into servitude. It's insanity. Anyway, I figure if I see that fella and he's in here creating an issue, I'll have my camera ready and I'll just point it at him. smile on candy. Now, I could go to the manager about it and try to have him look at the video cameras and figure out what's wrong with that dude, but really all he did was stare at me and mean mug me. If he decided to do something stupid like put his hand on, well then we'd have to consult the cameras. As of yet, he's not created any issue beyond making me feel uncomfortable. And as we all know, there's people who will get uncomfortable and call the cops if you ain't good looking. Come back. Also, not sure if you've noticed, but in 6 years of speaking out, not only have my predators not succeeded in having me locked up for the rest of my life, but Polly Olson from the Dual County Courthouse in prison. Sarah Nelson of Lincoln Correction Center is now in prison. Michelle Decini, now in prison. Michelle Quinn, Garden County. She's no longer the sheriff because she couldn't stop beating on people. Bonjour. Hey, Caleb. Didn't find a back scratcher. I did get some eggnog. Anyway, like I said, there's people I'm mad at that open sesame. Oh, yes. I also wanted to say that I like to show them my receipts when I go out because although you don't have to, it does help to, I guess, make them look like they're doing their jobs. They really do, though. I mean, for the most part, when people do go to work, they do want to do their job at least sufficiently enough to get paid. And, sometimes they go above and beyond. Sometimes they go overboard. It all depends. And, of course, that's why it's a matter of finding the right fit for the right job for the right person. Just showing you I bought my eggnog since I didn't get a bag.
Thank you.
All right. You'd be surprised how many times I've been stopped walking out of a store without a beep. Like, all right, we need to check your this, we need to check your that. Okay. Not going to give us any problems, are you? No. Oftentimes, it's just a matter of looks. The person you thought done it would obviously be the filthy hobo with the beard and the bald head and the filthy clothes. And yeah, if the beeper's going off, that's probably the guy that did it, right? You'd be surprised how many of the times that, oh shit. Alright, it looks like there's a fire. I was going to freak out a little bit just for a second. I thought it looked like it was at my car. But it's not. It's a little ways further over. If it is a fire, I'm going to have to call 911. I'm not seeing the guy that was mean mugging me. So, of course, better safe than sorry. Sure, I didn't catch him doing it, and I didn't get his picture taken or anything like that. So I don't have any proof that it happened. But also, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to be prepared than otherwise. I did what I felt was right, just in case. The way the guy was looking at me, I don't know if he's going to get violent or not. I know there was a lot of hatred in his eyes. right. I don't have enough money to pay all my bills this month, let alone feed myself. A lot of people say, well, you know, there's all those places that have free food. Well, first of all, you got to travel there. Second of all, when somebody is abusive or violent towards me, stay away from them. Well, a lot of those junkies go to the same places that you send me for food. So it costs money to avoid my predators. I don't get how you guys don't understand that. I don't get how you don't understand that I get victimized everywhere I go. I can't physically defend myself. I'm not allowed to defend myself any other way because I have no rights without a friend, a family member, or a guardian, an advocate, because of the term mentally ill. That's how a bunch of junkies and child molesters have made it so that I've been victimized for 6 years. Well done. Well done, America. When it comes to military service, I don't think none of those folks should get medals, and I don't think none of them should get paid. They're not doing what they said they'd do. They're not following that oath. The Constitution does not exist to the current government. Therefore, it does not exist to any of their employees. That includes the military. If the military were to fulfill their oaths, they'd walk into every police department and sheriff's department in America and arrest everybody that works there.